So let's talk about the 7 things that I like best about the new Toyota Tacoma. You know, there's been a lot of negative things on the web about this new truck. I like it. I think it's pretty darn sharp, but there are 7 things, there are more, but 7 things that stand out that I really do love about this truck. Number 1, the vented fender flares. Check these things out. I think they just add a degree of toughness, of aggressiveness to the front of the truck. I think it was a nice touch that Toyota put in. I think you may even see this kind of blend over into the 3rd generation Tacomas now that we see what it looks like on the front of a Tacoma at all. I think they're slick. I love that Toyota went with the black fins here as opposed to going with chrome or pewter or something like that. And it really kind of ties in with the rest of the front end of the truck. I think it's a pretty nice, aggressive touch. Next up, number 2, the hood scoop. You know, I've always been a fan of the TRD Sport because of the hood scoop, right? I love the way that it looks on the truck. I think that they did an even better job with it now in kind of integrating it more. We've got some raised areas on the sides, obviously, and then we have the hood scoop itself in the middle. You know, the way it used to be on the previous generation, it was kind of like a cap sitting on the hood, if you will. Not horrible. Like I said, I did like that before. The only way a thing I think that I would do to improve it would probably be to make it functional, right? I mean, if you're gonna have a hood scoop on the front of any truck, whether it be a 3rd gen, a 4th gen, a 10th gen, whatever it is, it ought to be a functional feature. But nonetheless, I like the looks of it on here anyway. It kind of goes with these vented fender flares in respect to more aggressive look, I think. Next up, number 3, the Supersonic red color. I mean, this color is striking, particularly when it's clean. Obviously, you can tell right now, my truck is not clean. But even so, when this thing is sitting out in the sun from a distance, it looks clean. It glistens. I love the look of this paint. It changes a little bit in different lighting as well. I think it's a nice touch. I was always a fan of the Barcelona red that Toyota had previously. I think it was a 2018 Barcelona red, and that was a pretty striking color as well. Number 4, the blacked out headlights. Finally, I've got a Tacoma that's not full of chrome. Of course, it does have a little bit of clear glass here, which lends to a chromish kind of look, but honestly, for reflectivity, you have to have something, right? Nonetheless, we've got black trim around the sides. They even put in a kind of Tacoma word here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I love the way that it looks on the truck. Again, going back to that more aggressive approach. And I think even that kind of chromish looking glass or reflective material they have there ties it right in down to the fog lights too. So they kind of had to do something there, otherwise it would have looked kind of funky, right? But nonetheless, I think it makes for, again, an aggressive look to the front of the truck, kind of tying in with the hood scoop up there, the vented fender flares down there, and even these black faux vents, which, by the way, I do wish these were maybe functional in some way. Of course, if you do that, you're going to let water and stuff in behind them, so I guess I kind of get why they do that, although water can still get in behind the grill, right? So really not a great argument for that. Number 5, and this is what I think a lot of people will say kind of makes it look a bit Tundra-ish, but nonetheless, the chunky door handles. I like these. They did have to kind of grow on me a little bit, I will admit, but after having the truck and seeing them and using them, I mean, look at that. Makes my hand look tiny. I love these things. They're a good, again, aggressive. I think you may notice my theme is aggression. Maybe I'm feeling in an aggressive mood when I made this video, I don't know. But those door handles lend to an aggressive look on the truck. It makes it look beefier. And honestly, I think things like that, as well as the protruding hood with the scoop, and even the slightly bigger fender flares with the vents in the front kind of lend to the look, or make this truck look bigger than it really is. The new Tacoma definitely has a bigger truck feel to it, particularly when you're inside driving it. I don't know what it is, but it just feels a lot bigger than the 3rd gen that I had before. And I might add a 5A to my list, and that is the bigger feeling of this new Tacoma. It just gives you, I guess we use the word aggressive again, a more aggressive feel, because the truck does feel so much bigger than what we had before. Kind of strange. Number 6, the absence of chrome. We don't have any chrome on this truck, although one might argue again that the 2 lights, the fender or the fog lights and the lighting up here area might lend to kind of a chrome look, but it's not. There's no chrome on this truck. Of course, it did have a little bit on the wheels, which I replaced. This is another TRD wheel option. That chrome is gone, and by just getting rid of those, I don't have any chrome on the truck whatsoever. It did come with badges. They were blacked out. That's part of a package, I suppose. But if you pull those off, you don't have any chrome anyway. Back here at the taillights, got a little black on the sides here. This little strip, obviously, you have to have for lighting purposes. But no chrome on the back either. And then running up the driver's side, I can squeeze through here. There's no chrome over here either. Just a good look for the truck. I'm not going to use the A word again, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And lastly, number 7, the repositioning of the TSS sensor. You know, it used to be up here right behind the emblem. It had that emblem slapped in with the sensor behind it, and it was always a point of contention for doing anything with the grill. Now it's located down here, out of the way, not stopping you, or at least making you have to worry about doing anything with the grill. And yeah, I am thinking of doing something else with the grill here. I haven't decided what, but because the sensor is down there and no longer part of the emblem, you can actually pull this piece off. And I have a video, I think, coming where I've actually shown how to do that. It's just held on by a couple little 3, I think, pressure clips, actually 4, on the back. You can reach through, disengage them. It's a little more complicated than that, but pull that thing off and you can customize it if you want to. Paint it, which is what I think I'm going to do, probably, hopefully, a Supersonic red to match the truck. I just think that would make it pop until I do something else with that grill work. Anyway, those are just 7 features, 7 things that I love about the new Toyota Tacoma. Leave a comment. Let me know if any of these mean anything to you. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.